What if I told you that the fact you can't stop thinking about her, even without contact, is exactly what's keeping you stuck? The silence, the distance, it's all part of the no-contact rule, right? But somehow, no matter how much time passes, she's still occupying your thoughts. It's like she's constantly in the back of your mind, and no amount of space can erase the emotional pull. But here's the reality. That's not weakness. It's a sign of something much deeper. It's a reflection of how much emotional power you've given to her, and it's time to take that power back. You don't need her to stop thinking about you. You need to stop letting your thoughts control you. Right now you have a choice. Keep being enslaved by these thoughts and emotions, or take this moment to break free and build a new version of yourself, one who can stand strong, regardless of who's in or out of his life. If you're ready to take control, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I control my thoughts, not my emotions. Let's dive deeper into this. Number 1. Stop rewriting a story that's already ended. You keep going back, not physically but mentally. You replay the last conversation, you imagine a different ending, one where you said the right thing, where she stayed, where none of this had to hurt so much. In your mind, you're still there, still adjusting the script, still thinking your regret might change the outcome. But the past doesn't respond to edits. It doesn't bend to hope. It stays fixed, indifferent, closed, and yet you keep rewriting, as if grief were a negotiation. This is the trap. You're not living in her reality, you're living in your memory. You've created a shadow version of the relationship, one where your pain somehow means she might return. But she's already gone. Her silence is the final line. You just haven't accepted the credits are already rolling. And Stoicism offers no comfort for the man who clings to ghosts. It offers clarity. Accept what is, not what you wish had been. Right now, your energy is burning in reverse. You're pouring yourself into yesterday, hoping it might reassemble into something kind. But the past doesn't need you. It doesn't even remember you. Only the present does. And your insistence on staying emotionally tethered to a closed chapter is costing you your chance to write the next one. Think of your mind like a house. Every time you revisit those memories, you light a candle in a room she no longer lives in. You make the place warmer for someone who won't come back. And all the while, the rest of the house, your potential, your future, sits dark and unused. The Stoic man doesn't decorate the ruins. He clears the wreckage and rebuilds. So what do? You stop resisting the silence. You stop trying to make sense of her distance. You stop reading her absence like it's a riddle to solve. You treat it as what it is, an ending. And then, with discipline, not drama, you turn that pain inward and upward. Into training, into focus, into motion. You stop chasing the echo and start becoming someone whose peace no longer depends on her return. And here's the shift. When you stop romanticizing the wound, it finally begins to close. She loses the power to haunt you because you've stopped offering her your present in exchange for her past. That's not bitterness, it's liberation. Now, speak out and comment below. I let go of what's gone. I live where I stand. Number 2. Pain isn't purpose, it's just unused power. You've been wearing your pain like a badge. Quietly, maybe even proudly, you tell yourself it means you cared, that it proves your love was real, and in some way you believe that holding on to the hurt gives the relationship meaning. But that's not healing. That's stagnation disguised as sentiment. Right now, you mistake your suffering for depth. You confuse endurance with purpose. You think that if it still hurts, then it must have mattered. But that's not what Stoicism teaches. The Stoics never glorified pain, they transformed it. They saw it as raw material, not a shrine to kneel before. You don't grow by nursing the wound. Your pain has become your shelter. It's where you go when you don't know what to do next. It's easier to sit with sadness than to rebuild from scratch. But here's the truth. Every time you return to that feeling, every time you replay the heartbreak, you reinforce a loop that keeps you stuck. The pain becomes comfortable, familiar. It gives you a reason not to move, not to risk, not to try again. And that's not honor. It's avoidance. Imagine your pain as fuel. You can either let it leak out, poisoning your days with regret, or you can harness it, channel it into something that builds. It's not about getting over her. It's about refusing to let her absence become your identity. Because the longer you carry this suffering as proof of your love, the more it becomes proof that you've stopped living for yourself. The Stoic answer isn't to deny the pain, it's to outgrow it. You must fill the empty space with motion. Build a schedule so solid that grief has no room to sit. Train your body until discipline overrides longing. Feed your mind with ideas greater than your loss. Don't let the ache speak louder than your action. This shift confuses people. They expect you to remain broken, to stay soft, sentimental, stuck. But when you transmute the pain into progress, when you rise without bitterness, you become untouchable. You become someone who has suffered, yes, but not someone who stayed there. And in that transformation, you reclaim your narrative. Now speak out and comment below. My pain is not proof, I turn it into power. Number 3, you're still reading a chapter that's already closed. You tell yourself the relationship is over, you say you've moved on, but deep inside your mind is still curled up in the story you once shared. You keep rereading the same scenes, how she smiled, the way she used to look at you, the last message you wish you could rewrite. You say it's memory, maybe even loyalty, but it's not. It's resistance, and it's fear. The truth is, you haven't let go. Not really. You're still waiting for a plot twist that makes it all make sense, still hoping that the story will continue if you just hold still long enough. But Stoicism doesn't wait for closure from others, it creates it from within. Epictetus reminds us, freedom is the only worthy goal in life, and right now, your freedom is chained to a page that no longer turns. You keep checking in, looking for signs, reading her posts like hidden messages. You compare every new person you meet with the version of her that exists in your memory, cleaned up, idealized, frozen in time. But she's not coming back, and even if she did, she wouldn't be the version you remember, because that version never really existed the way you think. What you're really clinging to isn't her, it's who you were when you were with her. That sense of meaning, that rhythm of connection, that comfort in belonging. Now that it's gone, you confuse the loss of identity with the loss of love. You don't miss her, you miss the version of you that didn't feel so lost. But that version of you wasn't whole. It was dependent, shaped by her validation, her affection, her presence. The man you're meant to become can't be built in the old narrative. He needs new ground, and that means finally putting down the book. Not angrily, not with resentment, but with clarity. This chapter is done, and no amount of emotional rereading will change the words already written. The longer you keep returning, the longer you delay the life that waits beyond the next page. Close it, fold it shut, let your mind stop reaching backward and start building forward. Every time you feel the urge to go back, channel that energy into something that demands your focus, movement, mastery, mission. Because healing doesn't happen through reflection alone, it happens through redirection. Now, speak out and comment below. Number 4, you're not missing her, you're avoiding yourself. You think it's about her, the texts you wish you could send, the photos you can't delete, the way your chest still tightens when someone mentions her name. You tell yourself you miss her, that she was the one. But if you dig deeper, beneath the ache, beneath the nostalgia, it's not really her you long for. It's the version of you that existed when she was around. the one who had direction, who had a reason to wake up early, train harder, dream bigger. Her presence gave your days shape. Her attention gave you focus. Now, without it, everything feels vague, grey. And that's the truth you've been running from. It's not love that's haunting you, it's the sudden emptiness of your own present, the lack of meaning, of structure, of momentum. Instead of confronting that silence, you retreat into the past. It's safer there, more familiar, more comforting than the discomfort of rebuilding from scratch. But the past is not a place to live, it's a place to learn. And every time you seek shelter in old memories, you deny yourself the raw material needed to build a new life. The Stoics warned us against this. Seneca said, "Life is divided into 3 times, what was, what is, and what will be. Of these, the present is short, the future doubtful, and the past certain." You've chosen to fixate on the one place you can never return to, and it's costing you everything that could be created right now. Here's the reality. Your obsession with her isn't about her anymore. It's about your refusal to sit with discomfort, to face the disorientation of a life that's suddenly yours to design. You don't want to admit that you don't have a clear path anymore. That's hard, but it's also the most honest place to start. So stop romanticizing the void. Stop pretending her memory is some kind of sacred truth you must carry. It's not a flame, it's a fog. And every day you stay inside it, you delay your own clarity. The answer isn't more reflection, it's action. Define your days, set a schedule, embrace the dullness, the resistance, the rawness of showing up for a life you must now shape without her. That's where you'll find strength, not in who you were, but in who you're now forced to become. Because when you finally fill your present with purpose, her absence loses its weight. Now, speak out and comment below. I don't escape into memory, I show up for my life. Number 5. She wasn't your mirror. Stop measuring yourself through her eyes. When she left, it wasn't just the relationship that broke. It was something deeper. Something inside you that was holding on for validation, for identity. You didn't just lose her affection, you lost the mirror you were using to see your own worth. And ever since, you've been wandering through your days feeling blurry, incomplete, like you've been erased from something sacred. But it's not love that's been shattered. It's your reflection, and the uncomfortable truth is this: she became your measure of value. Every compliment she gave, every time she leaned in, every look that said, "You matter," it all stitched together your self-esteem. And now, without that steady drip of approval, you feel small, uncertain, like a house without a foundation. That's not heartbreak, that's identity collapse. You didn't love her because she made you feel whole, you loved the feeling of being seen. But the Stoics would call that a fragile life. One built on what others think, what others give, what others can take away. Epictetus reminds us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Meaning, if your sense of self depends on how others perceive you, then you don't really own it. And until you reclaim it, you'll keep chasing women not for love, but for self-worth. So stop asking if you were enough for her. That's the wrong question. Ask instead, was I enough for myself? Because that's the only measure that endures. You can't keep outsourcing your validation, not to her, not to anyone. You have to turn inward, toward your values, your principles, your actions. That's where the real scaffolding of confidence is built. Think of yourself like a city you abandoned the day she moved out. For months, the lights have been off, the windows closed. You've stood at the edge, waiting for her to return, to breathe life back into the streets. But it's your city, your name's on every stone, and it's time to walk back in, flick the lights on, and start building again. Not because someone's watching, but because it's yours. When you do that, when your sense of worth becomes self-generated, something radical happens. No one can take it from you again, not her, not silence, not rejection. Because finally your reflection lives in the work, in the discipline, in the way you carry yourself through the world, not in who approves. Now speak out and comment below. My value isn't borrowed, I build it from within. Number 6. Memory is not a home. Stop living where she left. You say you've let go, but your thoughts betray you. Late at night, in the quiet, you're still there. Still walking beside her, still hearing her laugh, still watching that door close. The relationship is over in reality, but in your mind it's alive. You revisit the same moments like sacred ground, hoping that if you walk the path enough times you'll find some different ending. But all you ever find is more of the same: longing, regret, and a ghost who no longer speaks your name. What you've built in your head isn't a memory, it's a prison, and you are both the warden and the captive. You tell yourself these memories are all you have left, as if clinging to them is a form of loyalty. But loyalty to the past is not the same as devotion to the truth. And the truth is brutal. She's not there anymore. You are. Alone. Treading circles inside an emotional cell you refuse to leave. The Stoics warned of this trap. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "The present is all we have. Stop weaving together the threads of yesterday." But here you are, spinning rope from old feelings, tying yourself to an idea of love that no longer exists. And with every step you take in those memories, you walk further from the only place healing can begin, the present. You've turned her into a symbol, a placeholder for something deeper that's missing: direction, vitality, meaning. Because if you were truly alive right now, fully engaged, building, growing, there wouldn't be room for her ghost to haunt you. The problem isn't that you remember her, it's that you haven't created anything new strong enough to outshine her. And so she remains the brightest light in a dim room. But you don't have to live like this. The key isn't forgetting, it's replacing. Every time you feel pulled into nostalgia, counter it with motion. Do the hard thing, get uncomfortable, create new patterns, new moments, new meaning. The only way to weaken a memory is to build a life that makes it irrelevant. Over time, the image of her softens, not because you forced it, but because it no longer fits. She stops being your emotional anchor because you've finally set sail. You don't live in that house anymore, and she's not your home. Now speak out and comment below. I don't live in memory, I move through it. Number 7. Letting go is not weakness, it's a declaration of power. You're still holding on, not with your hands, but with your mind. With every thought that starts with "what if?", with every dream where she still shows up, with every hesitation to fully step into your future. You think letting go means admitting defeat. You fear it makes the love less real, that it erases what you had, but it doesn't. Letting go isn't about forgetting, it's about freeing. Right now, your grip on her is costing you the strength to carry your own life. You use her memory as a shield from the unknown, from the discomfort of starting again. It gives you something to point to when progress feels too far, when growth feels too hard. She becomes the story you tell yourself to explain your stillness. But standing still isn't noble, it's fear. And no matter how poetic your pain feels, it won't move you forward. Stoicism doesn't ask you to pretend you don't feel, it asks you to act in spite of feeling. Seneca wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that they are difficult." And that's what's happening here. You're not trapped in love, you're trapped in the fear of who you'll be without it. Because when you let go of her, something terrifying happens. You're left alone with yourself. No more distractions, no more maybe someday, just the present, just you. And that is where most people turn back, because it's easier to ache than to build. Easier to fantasize than to face the silence and shape it into something worth living. But this is where the Stoic path begins, in the refusal to let emotion paralyze action, in the decision to cut the final thread, even if your hands shake while doing it. You let go, not because you feel ready, but because holding on has cost you too much. Your focus, your direction, your time. And when you finally release, you don't fall, you rise. You step into uncertainty, yes, but you do so on your own terms. You don't wait for closure, you don't wait for a sign, you become the sign. The moment you stop chasing what's gone, you begin creating what's next. And in that moment, you reclaim everything that was yours all along. Now, speak out and comment below. Letting go isn't the end, it's where I begin. You began this journey thinking that your obsession with her was a sign of love, but now you understand it was a sign that you had lost control over your emotions. The truth is, your power was never about her. It was always within you, and now you're taking it back. If you're ready to keep growing, keep transforming, like this video, subscribe, and comment below. I am unstoppable. Keep moving forward. Build yourself. Your future is already waiting for the man you're becoming.